and welcome to a brand new episode of The Daily Dish. On today's episode, we're hanging out with filmmaker and actor Paul Utomi. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. Thank you for asking. Yeah.
So this is like the second show that we've been on. So it's like maybe like, oh, it's 3 times that is a charm, not 2 times. Forget I was saying anything.
Well,
So let's get right into the show. We're talking about how you started your career in acting and
yeah.
filmmaking.
Yeah.
Fun fact: Paul actually studied economics in university, and so
Yeah.
did I. Whatever we made is not the competition, but we shall study
Yes.
economics.
Yes.
So tell me how you transitioned from studying economics at the University of Lagos and
Yeah.
then transitioning to becoming a filmmaker and an actor.
It was, I would say, a happy accident.
Okay.
To be honest, I was at home looking for the perfect job,
Mm-hmm.
and you know how people know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah.
So I guess a few friends kept telling me there was this opportunity to work at a media house.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get to write and talk about sports and get paid to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Every guy's dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reluctant at first. Then I took the opportunity, started working there. Then I ran into a friend at a bank,
Mm-hmm.
and she encouraged me to try my hands at modeling and voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest, they say,
Yeah.
is history.
I was gonna say, like when you started talking, like you sound like you're trying to take my job from me.
No.
Like what is that baritone like? So how many years ago was this?
This was, I would say, just after the 2011 presidential election.
Very specific.
Yes, I remember because I was doing some voice work
Mm-hmm.
for one or two political campaigns,
Fair
and someone
enough.
asked me to be part of a radio drama. Then I would say 6 or 7 months after that, I went for my first audition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to describe your journey so far into the industry, it's been like 2011.
Yes.
Let's say give or take like 12 years.
Yes.
If you were to describe your journey in one word or one sentence,
Yeah.
what would you describe it as?
Hectic.
That's very fair. I'm not even gonna lie. That is
Yeah.
a very, very fair analysis.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some stuff that you've worked on, right?
Yeah.
Your movie Country Hard.
Mhm.
It's an absolute classic.
Thank you.
So what is the idea? Like where did the idea from the movie come from? For the movie come from?
Well, the truth is, we were basically, it started as a joke, to be honest.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I wrote a screenplay called What Lies Within. It was
Yes.
directed by a very good friend of mine, very talented, Vanessa Diego.
Mhm.
It did well at the theaters, and people seemed to like it. And she relocated. So one day we're on the phone.
Jackpot culture.
Yeah. So one day we're on the phone and we're talking about film festivals all over the world and what kind of films she's learning, because she was in LA or is in LA, and she's learning, oh, they like to see this type of stuff out of Africa. And we're talking, okay, they like to see poverty, the ghetto, but it can't be full ghetto. Basically, like
Ghetto-esque.
yes, ghetto-esque. But you don't want to frighten white people, so you
Yeah.
can't give them the full shebang. Just dial it down a notch. So we joked, okay, there has to be this strife, there has to be money issues. If you can talk about maybe drugs, if you can, and stuff like that. And we joked about it for a bit, and then I thought that was that. And then I'm talking to Topper today, like my friend,
Yeah.
and he tells me he'd like to play a certain type of character, but he doesn't think he ever wants to put his money into producing a film again, because we had all put our money into What Lies Within.
Okay.
And I went home, and I think a week or two later, I found myself writing the script.
Okay.
Yes.
So was it purely fiction, or was it based off of some similar experiences you may have encountered?
It wasn't completely fiction.
Okay.
I'll say that. Some of the instances in the film and the story happened to people we know,
Okay.
you know, and then we just tried to, yes.
Okay,
make it work.
fictionalize it a bit.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes, yeah.
So was there a particular reason why you chose Lagos as your location?
Budget.
That
More often than not.
is a very good reason
Yes,
to choose
yes,
Lagos.
yes,
Budget.
yes.
So I'm going to ask you one more question before we go on a short break.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know, you starred in a whole bunch of films. Like the
Yes.
list is here. Is like there's Love Is Yellow, there's Inbred, there's Finding Hobby 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And like even including names of films that I haven't mentioned here,
Yes.
what has been the favorite role for you to play?
That's a tough question because the truth is, I have really enjoyed playing a whole host of
Yeah,
characters.
I'm sure.
Not every character, but a whole host. So I can't single one out.
Can you pick like two
Two.
that just come off the top of your head? Doesn't necessarily have to be the most
Ah,
amazing, but just two characters that when you got the script or when you were in the film, you're like, this is very interesting.
I like Town.
Okay,
I like In My Father's House.
okay,
Uh, yeah, for film, I really like those two.
okay. What did you like about them?
The
Did they
characters.
remind you about who you were, or were they like polar opposites of who you actually are, or did they remind you of who you are?
Both characters were polar opposites, but
Mhm,
that's not necessarily the reason I like. I think
mhm.
both characters were well crafted. They were nuanced.
Okay,
You could really, really visualize and understand their motivations, even
okay.
though you may not necessarily agree with what they
Yes,
were doing or the kind of people they were. But
yes.
and
I
it
mean,
was
sometimes
fun.
we end up
Yes,
rooting for the villain, you know?
yes,
Like, I mean, sometimes we all end up rooting for the villain.
yeah,
We're going to go on a very short break,
yeah.
and then when we come back, we'll continue talking to Paul. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. We're still hanging out with Paul Utomi. So let's get right back into the questions.
Yeah.
If you were to define your experience in the film industry as an actor or as a filmmaker, how would you describe it?
Topsy turvy.
Mm-hmm.
There have been ups and there have been downs.
Mm-hmm.
I have tried to learn to just enjoy the journey. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very grateful for where I am now
Mm-hmm.
because things could be a whole lot worse.
Of course.
But you're never, quite satisfied. You always
I
want more. You're
agree.
always pushing.
I agree.
You're always trying to learn. Yes,
Okay,
basically.
fair enough. I think
Yeah.
that's a very fair, very extremely fair analysis. So I'd like to know, like, when you're on set or like
Yes.
as an actor or as a filmmaker,
Yeah.
like whatever question I'm asking is for like both
Yeah.
fields, right?
Yes.
What worries you the most, or are you just always like chill, like I'm fine, nothing's gonna stress me out? Is there anything that worries you, or you're just always chill?
As an actor, I would say you try to be relaxed.
Okay.
Your primary job is to interpret the character, to listen to the director's instructions, and just do your best to bring the character and the scene to life. But when you are on the other side of the camera, everything
Worries you?
worries you, especially
Yeah.
when you're directing, because you're constantly thinking about the actors. Are they comfortable? Are they able to perform? You're thinking about your crew. Are they comfortable? Are they giving their best? How will this cut together in edit? Will the editor be one of those many miscreants we have in our society? That kind of thing.
I feel like
Will you?
production is such hard work.
It is. It
Like
is. It
people who
is.
don't, especially, and that's why sometimes I'm very, very, I critique
Yeah.
like work that like in films and all that stuff, but I'm very, very careful about the things that I say. So like I'll not just say, "Oh, that movie's trash."
Yes.
I'd say the storyline has a few plot holes,
Yeah.
because
Or a chasm.
yeah, like
It's
you can't just like completely like throw something in the bin because that is someone's sweat, blood, and tears.
yes. To be honest, to be honest, the truth is this: making films is never easy. Making films in Nigeria, it's doubly so because we're working on very, very tight budgets. No matter how much you think we used to make these films, it's really, really a fraction of what they used to make films in France, in Hollywood,
agree.
in India.
Yeah.
So kudos to anyone who completes a
If
project.
man puts it out right.
But having said that, some projects leave a little bit to be desired.
Of course they do. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always going to be some of that. Like,
Yes.
I don't think like all fingers are not equal.
No.
You know, like
Yeah,
so
that is
there'll always be movies like that.
Yeah.
So now talking about this and how like when I asked you earlier, you said like it's easier for you to just when you're an actor, you just worry about like putting your best foot forward as an actor. But like a
Yes.
director, you're worrying about so many other things.
Yes.
Do you think you ever make the transition from an actor to
Yeah.
just being a director? Or is it something that you'll always do both of them?
I don't know.
Fair.
I enjoy both.
Okay.
There's this scene in Gone in 60 Seconds
Okay.
where Nicolas Cage, it's the third act, he gets in the car, the very last car they steal. He starts the engine, Del Orlando pulls up with Timothy Olyphant, they look at each other. There's that unspoken, don't do it, but you just caught me red hand. I
Yeah.
have to
You
do
have
it.
to do it,
And he
yeah.
puts the car in reverse and blasts out of the parking lot onto the street. And he's going full tilt in reverse. And there's this shot of this little boy in the back of a car, and he sees Nicolas Cage pull
Do
this
that,
way,
yeah.
and he's seeing him go, and they cut to Cage's face and his eyes. In that moment, to me, was iconic. It's like
Yeah.
it's great cinema. They
Yeah.
cut to the boy, they cut to the guy,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I grew up watching films from Bond to Indiana Jones to even some African films that
Yeah.
just created moments of pure magic for
I
me.
agree. I feel like there are a lot of films that like there's just some scenes that are just etched in your memory and you're like that
Forever.
was so epic.
Yeah.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did.
So like the Red Wedding, for example.
It was iconic.
When I think the Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
I think so many things, but
Yeah.
I think Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Or the scene in season 1 when they pushed Bran off
That
the
was
tower.
phenomenal.
Like there's so many,
Yeah.
so I absolutely understand what
but
you're
the,
saying.
the actor in me remembers, I think it was the Battle of the Bastards, when Bruce Bolton says
I remember that as well.
to the other Stark, Jon Snow,
Jon Snow.
yeah, like, I am going to kill your brother
Yeah.
and decimate your army, and he ends it with a simple "come and see." To me, that's just great acting. So the actor in me thinks, I never want to stop being able to do. I hope one day
Yes.
somebody sees something I did and goes, that was just magic.
Amazing,
But
yeah.
then the filmmaker in me wants to be like Spielberg or Tarantino or Nolan, where you just do stuff that endures.
Yeah,
I-
yeah,
I
like how
really
Kill
don't
Bill,
know.
Kill Bill is like
Yes.
is forever.
Timeless classic,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about like timeless classics and stuff,
Yeah.
do you have a favorite genre of film?
No, I like all genres.
Really?
Yes.
Or do you have a least favorite?
No.
I hate science fiction.
Seriously.
I cannot stand science fiction. I don't know if it's because I started working in production, so I know a lot of that thing is like smoke and mirrors and all the doop 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 doop
Okay.
doop 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 that they're pressing is
Yeah.
make believe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's why,
Yeah.
but I cannot stand science fiction.
To be honest, I find it very, very enthralling and very highly imaginative.
Exactly.
I used to read a lot of novels growing up. I read some Philip K. Dick short stories, and when I saw them brought to life, like The Man in the High Castle,
Okay.
which is basically science fiction,
Yeah.
but it's really well written
I
and
haven't
really
watched that.
well done. The Adjustment Bureau, which is a
I've
big favorite for
sort of-
me.
so that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't like it's Shutter Island science fiction.
It's a psychological thriller. Yes.
Like I've watched Shutter Island 3 times.
Yes.
And I got it the third time.
Yes.
But like
Did you like Inception? Did you like
I
Interstellar?
did like Inception.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Interstellar.
It's a really, really
I don't
great
like.
film.
I'm not a big fan of science fiction. But then, if you really think about it,
Yeah.
my best kind of TV to watch is reality TV.
Okay.
So-
Okay. I like some reality TV.
So I'm not sure. Like I'm a very good. Like I love like reality TV is
Is
my
your jam, yeah?
But like if we're talking like movies and stuff, I'll say like a good thriller or a good drama.
Yeah, I like good
maybe
dramas.
a rom com.
I like good dramas.
Love a good action film.
Yes. Did you
I
like
love
Everything
period
Everywhere All at
dramas.
Once?
I've seen that.
Yes. Michelle Yeoh.
I can't remember. Oh yes,
Yes. Yeah.
That low budget film that did it wasn't low budget.
wasn't
but
low
like,
budget.
They did it themselves, and then like it pretty much blew up.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it low budget.
Not
but
low
yes.
budget, but like it was like a passion project.
It was a passion
and
project.
then it pretty much
yeah,
blew up. Yes,
it was
yes,
a passion
yes, I have
project.
watched
Yeah.
that. It's like the other one that became popular, the other Chinese one.
Parasite.
Yes.
I love Parasite.
I love that film as well.
What I liked most about Everything Everywhere All at Once was the boldness of the editing.
It was.
Because it was at heart a simple story.
Yes.
It was just a story
Yeah.
about a girl
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
was going through every version of every universe, looking for one version
Yeah.
of her mother that would love her for
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
way she was.
That was a good film.
It was a great
That
film.
was a good
Yeah.
film. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So we can agree to disagree on
Yes.
that film stuff.
You can. You
So
can.
now let's come back to Nollywood and let's talk about what you think Nollywood lacks or what we need to improve upon.
Yeah.
What would you say? I mean,
This
it's not
is-
like it's a direct criticism.
Yes, okay,
You're in the
okay.
industry, so
Yes,
I feel like you
yes.
should be able to say the things that can be worked upon.
Yes. I think it needs to be fair, and this is, I'm not saying there is none of this,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot more passion
Okay.
and compassion.
Okay.
These two things. On the compassion front, I don't know where we went wrong as a people. I'm sure it's not just in Nigeria, probably Africa and the world, but most times you find that a lot of people are greedy
Mm-hmm.
or very very selfish,
Okay.
and I don't think that has a place in or should have a place in society at large. Some people just want to eat all the money,
Mm-hmm.
and I do understand that to begin with there isn't much money in the first place. But the truth is, if I expect you to give your all,
Mm-hmm. I should also give you
give
something
you
that is
yeah, that is
worth giving your
commensurate.
all.
You
Yeah.
know, if there really isn't any money, then that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, sometimes you hear certain stories. I'm sure you've heard a few
It's
stories.
happened to me as well.
Then you're like, why? Why are we so
No, like it's
selfish?
I've refused to be on a project that they were hiring for because I was lucky enough to know someone that was working in the budget department,
Yes.
and they were offering me literally next to
Nothing.
nothing.
And it's not like they didn't have.
Yeah, so
That's
I
why.
was
Why are
like,
we
I'm
doing
not. I
that?
asked for more money. They said they
Yes.
couldn't afford it, and I told them that I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Probably they would definitely find someone that will do it cheaper.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
But it's not going to be Misha.
Yes. Then on the passion front, you want people who are in front of the camera to be extremely driven and goal oriented, team oriented. You don't want actors who are just about me, because what happens is we're supposed to be in a scene together, and in this scene, I'm supposed to step back and let you shine. When we look at the script, but because I am the star of the scene, I demand rewrites, or I'm like, how come she has all the cool lines? I'm the straight guy. Can't I just be Jason Bateman in Arrested Development and just
Yeah.
play the straight guy?
Yes,
I'll still shine,
literally.
but let
Yes,
everybody else be chaotic and
yes,
crazy.
yes,
Just do it. Be David
yes,
Trimmer in Friends. Be the
yes.
straight guy.
Yeah.
You know, just Bruce Willis. I mean, we all know what's happening to him right now. But there was this film when I was in film school, and I studied it. His acting,
Yeah.
and he was with Tracy Morgan and a young boy, and in that sequence, Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan is an animal.
Yeah.
They just hung back and let the young boy
Do his
go.
thing. Yeah. As it should be.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
get
but
that.
you see, sometimes people are trying to one up themselves or outdo each other, and it doesn't serve the project. That happens. But then you have people who aren't giving it their all, who aren't committing completely to the characters. So that happens also. And then behind the camera, you have people who aren't invested in putting their best foot forward.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, all the editors in Nigeria. You know yourselves.
don't kill me.
I kind of think.
So I think one thing that if I were to say
Yeah.
about the industry is a lot of times these days when I see a film that has a star-studded cast,
Yeah.
and star-studded in air quotes because a lot of times this star-studded cast could include like influencers and a lot of people that have never acted in their lives before.
Yeah.
I feel like because they're trying to push and they think that this person has 1 million followers, this person has
Yes.
2 million followers. If this person posts and this person posts and that person posts, the film is going to like blow up.
Okay.
But I feel like it doesn't necessarily always translate because all of them will post and then you go and watch the film and it's just like,
Yeah.
is this what you guys are talking about? Do you get what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times it's very easy for you to slip and slide in this industry and transition from like a presenter to an actress or
Yeah.
like an influencer to an actor. Like,
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're not passionate about acting, then like
True.
Yeah.
But I can't blame anybody who's offered a job and
I don't.
takes
It's
it,
the
you
ones
know,
that
yeah.
take them
Yes.
and then just like
don't know how to utilize
Yes.
them effectively.
that's my issue.
First and foremost, maybe they should start from the story.
Yeah,
If the story is sound,
fair enough.
and then you go into casting and you try to, I understand it's a business, but you try to be level-headed when you're casting. We need to make financial decisions, true, but also balance it out.
Yeah.
And then on set, have a team the director, the editor, the production team,
Yeah.
they have a vision that go, okay, we won't let certain things get out of hand. Just
Exactly.
because you might be the funniest person on the gram doesn't mean we
You're the
need
funniest
you
person.
to be that funny in
Yeah,
this sequence.
I get
We
that.
just need you to do X, Y, and Z and be firm. And also, as filmmakers, we need to learn to trust our ability to cut the images to help us tell the
Story
story. So
properly.
when we get into edits, sometimes I don't know, but I'm not trying. This is no shade to anyone at all, but you're on set and it's on paper, and on paper it's supposed to be funny when all she does is drop the cup. And because as a director I don't trust myself, what happens is I don't know how to make that funny when I have the footage.
I get
So I now go,
you.
okay, she's the funniest thing on the gram. So let me let her do her. So she gets on set, she doesn't just drop the cup, she smashes it, pushes the table, does all of that.
Yeah.
But in the script, it was funny when all she did was
I
drop
dropped
the
the cup.
cup.
I get that.
And then you
Okay,
get
fair
to
enough.
edit and you're editing it together. People are watching now and are going, something feels wrong. It's not as funny as
It should have
it
been.
should have been
Yeah.
because the people behind the camera didn't trust in their ability to tell the story.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so this what you just said now sort
Yeah.
of ties into like my last question
Yeah.
in advising filmmakers and actors in the industry. So trusting your ability, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what else would you
Keep
say?
learning, keep researching. You're going to make mistakes. I know I have. You're going to do things you're like, okay, that didn't quite translate exactly how I thought it would. What did I do wrong? Where can I be better? Constantly keep learning, constantly keep practicing, constantly try to push the envelope because that's what's happening everywhere else on this planet. We see films out of China, out of
Yeah.
France. They're constantly pushing, they're constantly doing fresh and
Fresh things.
innovative
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
We can do that too.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So that's Polyton. You got really passionate about it. Like, please, like, can we start acting real things? Before I let you go, I
Yeah.
need you to let the viewers at home know where they can find you on social media.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on Instagram at Paul Utomi, on Twitter at Paul underscore Utomi, on Facebook at Paul Chibuzo Utomi.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank
and
you.
for you guys at home, don't forget you can always join the conversation by visiting our Instagram, which is SpiceTV_Africa. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Valerie.ek. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. See you soon.